Okay, so welcome. This is the regular meeting of the Town of Washington Planning Board. We have 4 members here, which is a quorum, so going to note the members for the secretary, Andrew Spence, Susan Meany, Eric Alexander, and Emily Abrahams. So since we have a quorum, we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America
and
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So the next thing is minutes. Have all the board members received the minutes from the December meeting? Yes.
Yes.
I noticed, I noted a correction to that this morning. I sent it out by email. Was everybody okay with that correction? So.
Emily's edit. Is that what yours is? Oh, you see yours? Okay, I'm sorry. Yep.
So we all agree to those minutes. Can I have a motion to accept those?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay, so we have one matter on for a public hearing tonight. This is an application for approval to subdivide a 90-acre parcel into 5 lots at 515 Woodstock Road. At last month's meeting, we classified this as an unlisted action for seeker and one that requires a coordinated review with the zoning board. We declared ourselves as lead agency and sent a notice to the ZBA. We also referred the application to Dutchess County Planning, and we set a public hearing for tonight. So can I get a motion to open that public hearing?
So moved.
Can I get a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so if the representative of the applicant can come forward, and for those members of the public that are here tonight, and hopefully for people on Zoom, if you could explain the application.
Sure. I'm Doug Larson. I'm an architect. This is Jacob Hart. We're the agents for the applicant, Mr. Clear. Tim Clear is here tonight. So we came before you last time with a sketch plan review to look at subdividing this 90 acres. So Mr. Clear and his wife own this 90 acres. It has a very old farmhouse on it and a smaller house from the 80s, I think, to the ranch. I have a plan here. I don't know if people can see it or if I should hold it up in front of the public. What's the best?
Yes, usually we try to do it over there, but
Okay.
sometimes. It's a little bit harder.
So Mr. Clear and his wife came to us because they needed help navigating the zoning code. Mr. Clear and his wife came to us because they needed help navigating the zoning code and the setbacks and the bulk regulations. So here's the 90-acre parcel right here. And there's a antique farmhouse right here off of Woodstock Road. Woodstock Road bisects it east to west here. And this is the smaller ranch house across the road. So the idea was just to portion off part of the old farmhouse. There's already somebody interested in buying that house with a 5-acre parcel, which is the required minimum acreage in this zone. And then 4 quadrants remaining to cut the parcel along hedgerows and along old stone walls, so it feels sort of natural. The wetlands areas are indicated in green, so we've checked that each parcel has enough buildable area on it that's not wetlands. So this is a concept, and we came before you last month, and I think there were some comments from the engineer from Aaron, which we responded to for the deed and the original site plan. So that's the concept. This is an idea, and we know that we will need to be referred to the zoning board of appeals because there's some barns here that Mr. Clear would like to keep, and they would be non-conforming. So we would need to get a variance to keep them.
Okay,
So that's basically the overall concept.
okay. Is anybody here from the public that would like to comment on this matter? Okay, so Aaron, maybe we can go through some of the comments that you've had.
Sure. As you mentioned, we did
classified as unlisted. We have an EAF that was submitted that's pretty complete at this point. The attorneys drafted a negative declaration that we could consider. As far as the big comment and discussion point last time was the subject of Woodstock Road, which apparently is a user road here and it's part of the property. It's not, its own right of way. It's separating parcel lines. It's actually within the property. So, that's not an issue. We just wanted, the attorneys asked for some backup documentation, the deed, the final map, the original subdivision creating this lot. And I think that's all been provided. Megan didn't have any questions on that. So,
And I do have copies of that with me if anyone wants to. And I'm here for Megan tonight from Vanderwater, and that's correct.
okay, great. We asked for some minor cleanup of the tables and notes that were here. They've made those changes mostly with some typos on areas, etc. We asked for the health department signature block that was added too, I believe.
Yes.
Yep, in addition to the planning board signature, and this would be, this is preliminary. So obviously it would have to come back for final map signature by the planning board chair once the permission to file has been granted by the health department. And then I guess you'll have a Mylar set that's generated by a surveyor, or however you want to do that. So yeah, that's it as far as the plat itself. Procedurally, we did make the referral to the county, which was required because of,
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's the
Figure
the cabinet for the-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just simply the fact that it's a business that will go elsewhere to install things.
Yeah.
As
That's how
opposed to it's on the property. That's
sold it to me as a change of use because because they are leaving. I said, well, Andrew Code went to Orvis to pick up their shotguns and he went to British Sporting and he went places too. I don't know, but
Yeah.
anyway, trying to do the right thing. We're here.
We
and
appreciate that.
Appreciate very much.
Is it cleaner for us to just try to give them, the special permit that they need, but based on as limited documentation as we can? Because really, this is such a minute change.
I agree with that. I think you could still go through the process of, it's a special permit, just get it on record that this use will have a special permit. It's a new HM zone. It's going to be a service business. So in case there is a change down the road, you can show proof to the special permit originally for this current use. I mean, tenants change hands all the time, right? But it sounds like you were flagged, the use was flagged by James in this case, and that's why you're here.
Yeah.
But even with a special permit, it still needs the county and the public hearing.
I-
So,
I just,
Is there a way to not do this?
Yeah, exactly.
not according to the code.
yeah, the question I have, does the special use pertain to what's happening in the business or to the business itself, right? Because you can have a very huge business
right.
with tons of, trucks going all over the place, but there's a tiny showroom that does none of that. Does that matter? I mean, what, does the change of use apply to the business as a whole or the use on the property itself?
It applies to the use.
Yeah.
But I will say, if we're not sure whether this has an existing special permit in place and it's just grandfather, there is some wisdom even for you folks in memorializing a special permit. Even if there is no distinction between the two uses,
I know
just
what you
having
mean.
it on record that this is a permitted use there. Would have some value, and you can, as you said, waive submission requirements and make this as streamlined as possible.
But based on the information they've already provided,
Right.
we can go ahead and do the county referral and.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk back a lot of these comments that are in here.
Okay.
Based on that. So
Okay,
I think the county referral, you can't skip that unfortunately because it is a special permit. And it meets the location requirements of the county referral. Type 2 for seekers, so you don't have to worry about EAF or anything like that. No wetlands issues, nothing like that. But we can't waive the public hearing either. It's part of the process. So since we have to go to the county, bring them back next month for a public hearing, close it out
I think
then.
it's cleaner that way.
And the county is going to respond with matter of local concern anyway.
Yeah.
highly likely.
And they
I
have
think you're
time
never
to
gonna
do
get a
it by.
friendlier environment to get that formalization.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You might
Uh,
also, in a way, be retroactively getting the right
Yeah.
permits you need for your use.
Exactly.
In case it isn't.
Just for that particular suite.
Or even the
Is that
one that
right?
was even,
Right.
and even the
But would we
previous
put all
tenant.
of The various, let's say all of our tenants leave and we have to get new tenants for all of those suites that are in the
Mm.
building. What we establish through this process is only gonna help us with that one suite, correct? It's not gonna help us with the entire. Because my understanding was that the entire building is zoned for special.
HM.
use. Yeah,
Well, it's Hamlet mixed use.
right.
But we're just talking about one portion of the building that's applying for this
Right.
special permit, so.
If that tenant's business grows and they take over the suite next to it, do they have to come back? They expand their business?
That'd be crazy.
Yes. Yeah, it does.
Crazy.
It does.
That's the kind of thing that
We
gives
definitely
regulation a
purchased a
bad name.
commercial building with tenants in it, so that we could.
Right. So why wouldn't this permit cover the entire?
I would think.
Building.
I think if the subsequent uses fall under the definition of service business, which is what you're trying to get this for,
Yeah,
you're probably okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what if it's a craft?
If it's, that's when you would
person
have to come
or a
in to, yeah, I think that's when you would have to come back,
Really?
if the use changes.
But if the use.
Why don't you include the use? Why don't you do both? Like omnibus, so it's crafts and showroom.
Is crafts a special permit? Do they have a special permit for that, or is that just part of the?
They're both special permit uses and they each.
Yeah, they're each defined, uses, a defined type of use,
Yeah.
which is why there's this, it seems like a thin line, but they are two different uses. I do think given what you're suggesting, that frankly, it appears as though it would be doing both. You
Yeah.
could craft a special permit that
I would do both, so
I
that
would
they
do
don't,
both.
next time they get a
Yeah.
craftsperson in
Yeah.
this spot, they don't
Yeah.
need to switch back.
Yeah.
Because that would be,
And you definitely,
Unfair.
well, they're doing some cuts there, they're doing
Yeah.
certain things there.
so you want a
Have a
permit that
showroom.
covers it all and the
Mhm.
adjacents and proximity to the other, I would think,
And
whether it's formal or not, I think then it makes the rest like,
So you're talking about a
on
craft,
that.
craft workshop and service business. being
Yeah.
Specifically called out in the special permit that they want now.
Yeah,
Okay,
And why do we have to specify the suite or just for the
I
property?
think just for the subject property,
Well,
the existing
That is-
building.
the building, not
The
the,
building. Right.
so it's the whole building.
so then they're covered.
But if you were to come in with,
Whatever.
a proposal to expand the building, put in like more
Right, right.
intense,
Yeah.
like, loud
no,
noises
no.
and things like that, that would probably make you have to come back. But if you're gonna confine all those within this footprint and you want to have them meet the definition of a craft workshop and the definition of a service business per the code, this could probably get that done for you.
Mhm.
And
But if you're gonna do one, you should.
Yeah,
do it all.
probably.
Go through the list.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't be flip flopping. Energy.
Yeah, and in the history of that building, it seems like those are the two things. that
Yes,
are there.
those are
It's
it.
always the
Right.
one or the other, so I
Right.
think it's a good idea to have that.
And why do we have to have the county talk about it and
They don't have to talk about it. It's
whatever?
basically, um,
You just have to. when you-
it's a technical
Yeah.
requirement of the law.
Because you're within 500 feet of a state.
You're-
road.
it's general
You
municipal.
Send the county and say, oh, they want to do this thing here, and the county says, oh, yeah, that's a matter of local concern. 90% of the time, 90%.
So the General Municipal Law 239M, it's a statewide requirement for all local planning and zoning boards. If they have an action that's within 500 feet of a state road, Route 44 is one.
Yeah.
Or a farm operation, an agricultural district, which this also falls within that. It's within 500 feet of the ag district. It has to be referred to the county, just to the planner at the county. It doesn't go through like a hearing or anything at the county. It's just the county planning staff gets an intake form from Kristen. They review the application and they check off
Okay,
most likely a matter of local concern without comments.
so if that happens, how soon do you think when could we have the tenants come in? Like, because the lease
The next the next meeting we have is the 6th, I think, February 6th.
Okay,
I would anticipate that we would hear from the county within the appropriate time.
Right.
They have 30 days and we would have heard from them by that meeting.
Yep.
And then we'll have a public hearing that night
okay.
and give anybody the opportunity to say something. And then we would vote on it next month. So that would be February 6th, we would have a decision.
Okay.
There's a possibility the county might. try to be like the last day.
Very,
Unlikely.
I'll be
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah, you're not,
Oh. Oh,
In,
okay.
in matters far more complex than this, they can also
Yeah.
come back with matter of local concern.
Okay.
yeah, something as simple as this, we can.
The last application in the same zoning district with a similar concept was a matter of local concern at the
Okay.
Stagecoach site.
The notice to the county is, as you can probably imagine, so that if the county has any significant issue with the like curb cuts or,
Right.
you know, new lights or improvements
Yeah.
that impact the county road. But that's extremely unlikely here. You don't have heavy traffic associated with some new use or something.
And it's a state road, so they won't have any, the county doesn't have.
Did that gas station ever get a sign
Jurisdiction.
approved? Like Gulf Station?
But things the county brings up a lot on site plans are like parking, landscaping, things like that. You're not doing any of that here. You're not changing the site, so.
Whatever.
So you folks just bought this building recently?
Okay.
And-
My father purchased it in November to run, so I want to just get a quick vote so that we can, so the first thing we need to do is get a motion to classify this as a type 2 action requiring no further environmental review. Can I get a motion for that?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And so we're going to have, Kristen's going to send the notice to the county.
And I'm sorry, Stephen, what did you ask for?
This was to classify it as a type 2 action for seeker. That was Andrew and then Eric.
Yes.
Thank you.
And so now if everything's in order, can I get a motion to set a public hearing for next month?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And that's it.
And you'll refer to.
County?
Kristen's gonna refer to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we don't have to go through the comments. I'll revise this memo between now and next month to throw out some of these comments.
Okay, good. Great, great. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
But we need to vote to close the meeting.
Second.
Okay.
Emily.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. You can see what they're fighting. Thanks for coming.
Yes, it was Eric Andrew. Eric.
Thank you.
It was Eric and Andrew.
Yes.
They were all of the early ones were Eric and then
We're
Andrew.
also open the public hearing, that was.
Everything is-
We were overachievers.
I thought we should agree that we need a meeting.
Thank you.
It's set.
That's, I know. Who's gonna do
This one was a thing.
that might turn out okay. But the cord plug from the speaker into, on the other that goes through the wall into a surge protector, that was missing. But he said in the plant, the town board had a meeting and they kept, you could tell they were checking their microphone.
Yeah.
But it recorded fine.
Well, this is working now, but here.
Yeah, that's because we brought an extra cord.
So it may have been working, but we did not get 2 members of our board and Leslie who all said they were logging into that meeting, so I don't.
Nicole said she was trying and it wouldn't work. I didn't
Yeah.
see this.
This,
Yeah.
I'm
This
so
doesn't-
fed up with this Zoom, I
Yeah.
don't even know.
What-
how to-
I don't know what the problem is. It only exists here though. I don't.
That's set up right.
We can't, the public wants to participate occasionally, we're.
How hard is this? I mean, what is the problem exactly?
They never took the time to set it up properly.
It's just an internet connection though.
Well, it's.
Sure.
Was here, he came, he was here. He can't understand it either. There were a lot of problems. He updated to Windows 11.
Windows 11.
Then ones that don't.
Windows 11, yeah.
Yeah, which cause a lot of problems.
I mean, why don't we just have a Wi-Fi connection to a large screen? I mean, like a computer.
That simple
I think they're gonna go for
wording.
projections.
Yeah, and then I said,
I think it is. I think it's pretty simple.
I don't know, I mean,
Yeah.
I would think he'd be able to just.
Maybe there's some requirements for municipalities, but I mean, it seems like you could plug in a laptop.
We'll figure it out 2 minutes before the next meeting.
That's not
We're not.